This is All Hitches, the Nova Football Podcast.
All right, welcome back to All Hitches, Nova's #1 football podcast. Coach Mesa, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Good on a nice live night, a little special edition, Tuesday night edition.
Yeah, I mean, we did say that if anything ever broke, that we would talk about it, and something broke this morning. Maybe late in the
late Monday night, early Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Good old Fairfax Times. Fairfax Times, man, they know how to a doozy on everyone. I mean, look, let's be honest. I mean, it's a very partisan newspaper.
Yes.
If we call it a newspaper, whatever it is, publication, newspaper, whatever it is, it's very partisan. I mean, they have their politics, and
I mean, the fact that the story is supposed to be about what's going on in Fairfax, and half of it was about last year what happened to Hayfield.
It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I could have sworn if they would, there could be an article coming that might blame Hayfield for the. They might have Hayfield somewhere on the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
Or maybe Hayfield knows where Amelia Earhart's airplane is.
Possibly, right?
I mean, come on. I mean, it's just a little out of control. But we'll update people, right? But I guess this is our. Normally, we'll spend our banter talking about, mowing the lawn. But we'll catch everyone up on the Fairfax situation just briefly. We said, like you said, we left it off in August. There was an accusation, right, that they looked into regarding essentially pay for player.
Yes.
Right? They suspended a head coach, Taylor, and assistant coach, and they said that's it, and we're good, and we'll look into it, and we'll let everyone know if there's any updates. And then last night or early this morning there was an update, and essentially that they it sounded like they self-reported according to the article.
Yeah, apparently they went to VHSL and reported it to them, administration, because with VHSL you have to self-report. There is there's no. Can't.
So they did that, and I guess the punishment or whatever was handed down, and that they will miss the postseason ban for this year, not a 2 year, 1 year.
Correct.
Right, and I also was told that is you cannot appeal that.
You cannot appeal that. Oh, I didn't.
That's what I was told.
But I feel like last year Hayfield did appeal those.
I don't know if it was different or if they changed they changed some of their policies. That's the thing. So now we'll get into it, right? Because that's the story. That's all there was really in the write up.
Right.
That's all we know. Now, people were banging the drum for stricter regulation and tighter, all that stuff. And then it's almost like one of those things, you until it happens to you kind of things, right? I mean, then now some people are upset because they have stricter rules, and some of the people wanted stricter rules.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand where the fervor is for this, because last year there was never there wasn't any evidence of any wrongdoing, right? Hayfield got their postseason ban by breaking the spirit of the rule, right? There was never seemed to be anything. I mean, never heard about any hard evidence,
right? And
it seems at the very least, based on that article, that there is an admission that a coach did give money to a player. Now, reasons why vary depending on who you believe, but I think
according to the article, it said it was like a hardship. They needed help,
right?
Something like that.
I mean, depending on who you talk to, it's either that or they are trying to get the player in. So depending on what story you hear, but it's a fact, I guess, that that a coach did give a player money under what circumstances is still up for debate.
They might know, but we don't know.
Right. Correct. Right. But to be upset about then getting the hammer dropped, but let me back up a little bit. I guess the larger problem I have, and I said the exact same thing for the Hayfield thing. You're now punishing people who had nothing to do with that. And it's weird. We've been talking about this all day with other people. But like, what do you do in that? Something has to happen. You can't just be like, oh, it happened and we're moving on. Like something has to happen. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I really feel much like I said. I felt last year for the Hayfield team. I feel this year for the Fairfax team. The fact that the coaches in question, are currently suspended. The player in question is no longer on the team. So you have essentially people who did not commit a crime, being asked to pay for that. And again, I said the exact same thing for the Hayfield thing last year, right? I said you have kids on that team who had nothing to do with anything, who just came out to play football. Right. Now we're gonna and I guess that also does. We hadn't really heard whether or not the Hayfield suspension still stands or not.
Right. No, we had not heard.
We have not heard that. It seems like, I don't know. I mean, maybe someone in the know knows that. Who knows? But yeah. So, but I will say, hats off to FCPS for really going through doing a thorough investigation.
Yes.
Not waiting until the 11th hour, because I feel like a lot of people felt that last year they did wait till the 11th hour.
Right.
With the Hayfield stuff. So I think they did a good job. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they did. I mean, I'm sure other people would disagree because they have a dog in the fight. Right. Yeah. So I guess that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, I agree on everything. I was going to kind of just, I guess, my version of everything you said. You and I are in agreement on a lot of this. I just feel like, one, it's like I said, it's always a shame. It's the kids, right?
Right.
The kids get impacted by this, and that's a shame. Because if everything was taken care of, right, and there's no, and they've done their investigation, the problem is we don't know.
Right.
We said this last year. We don't know what we don't know.
Right.
And we're only commenting on what's been really, assuming that obviously they're playing games and no one is being suspended that we know of. So if everything's taken care of there and any coaches that did any wrongdoing are gone, assuming that's taken care of too, do you really need to go and do any more, right? If you're VHSL, right. It sounds like all is good. Now there's got to be some kind of punishment. I get it, but darn it, I wish it could be done somehow. I don't know. There's almost like, if anyone has any ideas, drop it in the chat, right? Yeah. What are the kind of punishments? Because I'm curious that could be done. That I don't know. Do you fine a program? I don't know, right? I don't know, but are things that without kids who didn't do anything wrong to anybody,
right?
Right.
And the coaches in question are currently no longer on the
And we'll say the same thing about Hayfield, right? Who had the 2-year ban. We said the same thing at the end of last year. It's a shame that these kids now have a 2-year ban.
Right.
For the playoffs. So it's the same thing. We're talking about if everything is taken care of and everything that was bad is gone and all that stuff, and now we're just talking about the people who are there and who are just victims right now. It's a shame that they're the ones that have to suffer, and so it's a shame that these Fairfax kids who didn't do anything wrong, have to be the ones that now don't get a playoff, because odds are they're making the playoffs. You and I've talked about this. I had them as a top team in my predictions. They made my power board, buddy.
They did, and then Terry Tay, offensive linebacker, kicked him off your power board.
I know, what the heck, Terry Tay, our guy, Will, but so that's my thing there. And in terms of the coaches, look, again, we assume that we don't know if they remember they said it was an external investigation, and we don't really know if that's done. We're assuming something was done, because they announced the investigation and then they said, okay, VHSL self-report, here you go. That tells us something is completed. I don't know what part of the investigation, but one part of it is.
So some of the chat said vacate the previous year's wins. And yeah, you can do that.
That's not a bad. I like it. If it's that or punishing the kids, I'll take that.
Yeah, but the problem for that is, I've been a big SC fan for a long time, and they had their wins vacated. But you ask people, they're like, nope, those games happened. They happened. I don't know. I feel poorly for those kids, but I also think to myself, like I said before, something's got to happen, and it's got to sting a little bit. Right. I mean, if you're trying to rectify all this, right? You're trying to get the find a way to get a hold of all this stuff. You got to do something. You got to do something that makes that sting a little bit. Now, I guess the other question is will there be litigation over this?
Right.
There was litigation last year, and and now they weren't exonerated, but there was stays put on those punishments.
Right.
I'm curious if that's coming next, or is there any kind of litigation coming? So, and if there is, right, then maybe we'll learn more. But it sounds like it sounds like it's done.
Right.
They now receive their punishment, and perhaps they can move on. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all we know at this point. Is that
that's it, right? That's pretty much it. But we want to come out and say that it's a shame. Well, let's get into the second part of this, because this is the topic. How does it impact the playoffs? So if it's upheld, and that was something that someone said, as far as in the DM, in terms of the not being able to appeal. So I don't know if that's real. Let's go ahead and assume that it's a done deal and they can't appeal. Let's just go with that for a second. How does that impact it? Everyone bumps up, kind of like offensive linebacker, did in the top 10 thing. Everyone bumped up, and so now all of a sudden, if you're Woodson, if you're Robinson, if you're West Potomac,
yeah,
right, and on the other side, if you're maybe Hayfield,
well, the Hayfield question's another big thing, right?
Oh, I forgot. That's another one.
Yeah. So if both those teams are out, that means you have two spaces of two teams that are currently in the playoffs who aren't there. So you have two teams who are going to jump up. How does that affect the max prep points? Right. I mean,
right.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
there's
a lot of moving parts that hopefully someone can answer for us. We'd love to just kind of get clarification on it. Not that we're we're not trying to go after anybody on it. I'm just curious on clarification on what this means moving forward for the playoffs. Yeah, no, good call. That's a good call. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there, and kind of. I mean, there probably are some teams that are like, well, now we got a shot. Maybe we wouldn't have had a shot otherwise. You're eliminating two teams who probably would have made the playoffs.
Correct.
All of a sudden, that does allow people to jump in. So, and who it is, it'll come down. That makes these conference games that much more important over the next 4 weeks.
1,000%.
Right.
It's going to be huge for a lot of teams, right? Like you said, there are going to be two teams who probably would not have made the playoffs who now are going to make the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
Right. With those two. Trying to think. We talked so much about it today. I know because we kept. I mean, we were talking with everybody at work today about how this plays out.
But I think that kind of summarizes it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's all we know right now, right? We know we don't know. As far as we know, there is no admission of guilt. There's no admission of guilt to that stuff. We just know that VHSL. And what's really interesting is that 2-year ban came really fast. Because last year,
oh, you mean from
there were
1 year ban? Talking about Fairfax.
Yeah, for Fairfax.
1 year ban.
It was a 1 year ban, but it still came fast, right?
It did come fast. I think that's part of the change that they've made.
Is that there's no longer the tribunal of DSAs from around the state who have to meet
well, there was that leads. That's a good point, but I think that also leads to the external investigation. Us thinking that maybe the results were found.
Correct. Yeah,
right?
Maybe.
Point, right. We don't know, but for them to say, "Boom, this is what it is," that fast, then again, just putting 2 and 2 together, that tells you that there must be something completed in terms of the investigation. They must have found something.
Yeah.
Or else you're not doing that.
Right, and as quickly as it can. We don't know the timeline, right? We don't know when VHSL was give it when they were self-reported. We don't know any of that stuff.
I think it was somewhat recent because in the article, and again, grain of salt, right? But the article made it sound well. Actually, we know this is verified. There was that meeting on Monday with at Fairfax,
right?
So they were announcing that. So that must have been somewhat new,
right?
But again, even the article is kind of obviously biased.
Oh, it's so slanted. It's poorly slanted. And to kind of go back to the article, you can't be upset if you do something wrong and you feel like you're being, and you're like, well, what about them? They did something wrong. That's you can't make that argument.
Right.
If you did something wrong, you may have not like having. So at that point, you're saying, okay, that one person who I didn't like didn't get punished.
Right.
So now we should all get away with everything.
Right.
Is that what you're saying? I can't believe that.
And all the what ifs, right? The people who now, just like last time, it became And like you said, people said it's funny. Some people said you were too pro Hayfield. Some people said you were too anti Hayfield last time.
Right.
And then there are people now who are going to say you're too pro Fairfax, you're too anti Fairfax. They're going to say the same thing.
Right.
But the people who I guess would say are calling us anti Fairfax, I guess in this case, which is silly because we just offended the kids, and that's what Fairfax is.
Right.
Fairfax is the kids.
Yes.
It's not some coach. It's not.
Right.
Kids, the student body make Fairfax.
Right. 1000%.
That's important, and that's who we care about.
Right.
And that's what we're pissed off about.
Not just that though, but I think at the end of the day, you and I did not start this thing a year and 3 months ago to talk about controversy.
Right.
We got on here to talk about football games. So we want to talk about.
Like it's someone else's fault that this is happening, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not our fault this is happening. Yeah. But no, I think it's important to say that there are some people who think, they probably say, well, no, but they had bleeding hearts and they had, they were helping and all that kind of stuff, right? And that's fine. And that could very well be true. We don't know the reasons for any of this stuff.
Right.
But on the flip side, a year ago, there were people on the other side that had a reasoning for whatever happened. Correct. And the people who were anti-Hayfield didn't want to hear those reasons. They would call them excuses.
Right.
And the same way this time, people don't want to hear. It's the same thing. It's different, but the same thing.
Yeah. Although I think you probably heard me say this. This is one of my favorite lines I heard. I can't remember where I heard it, but I use it constantly. Nobody's a villain in their own story.
Right.
Right. Nobody's a villain in their own story.
That's exactly correct.
Right. And so last year the story was it was them, right? Oh, they're bad guys. They're bad guys. They're bad guys. And they would say, no, we're not. We're out there. We're supporting kids. We're getting kids in college. Right. We're doing all these other things.
Right.
All the parents at Hayfield.
The address is checked out. There was an explanation for every angle that the people who were against Hayfield brought up.
Yeah, and now, in turn, you are the one being accused, and now you're like, oh no, it wasn't that. Coach Taylor's a good guy, and Coach Harris is a good guy, which I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're fine people.
Right, and I'm sure they had explanations for everything. I'm sure just the way the other side did. Right.
Correct.
And that's the similarity. That's what I meant. I know the stories are different, but what I meant the similarity is this part of it.
Right.
So it's a shame that again we're spending time talking about that, and instead of we're talking about Davin Tolson and Anthony Murad and the Maltese Falcon and Baker now who's playing freaking a good quarterback and all these things about Fairfax. And we got to waste time talking about, whether, some article was written and did someone give money and all that kind of crap.
Right. Yeah. So, it's unfortunate we have to do this again because you and I would spend time talking about these amazing high school athletes and all the things they're doing. Right.
But I will go down saying that they got to do what they got to do if they found the coaches were doing that. They got to do the VHSL, FC, and kudos to FCPS, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's another one that article wants to poop on, by the way. And FCPS, so people got mad at them last time for acting too slow. Now people are going to get mad at them for acting too fast and too harshly.
Right.
Talk about not being able to please anyone. I thought they said after last year ended, we're going to different approach. We had Tom Horn on the show talking about it's a different approach now. People better get their act together. Yeah. And here we go.
Well, you have to start drop the hammer and
yes.
Not to keep on dragging this out, but I think I talked to you that today. We talked today, and CIF, which is our VHSL in California, is dropping hammers. I told you in my city where I live in Long Beach, I think something like 15 students have gotten 2 years of ineligibility for doing these things. Bishop Montgomery in Torrance has had their season pulled.
Wow,
because of all this, because it's not sustainable. You can't just let this thing go on forever because it's going to ruin high school sports and it's killing programs because you're having a lot of schools bleeding kids, and kids are and the flip side is that the schools that are receiving the kids were like, well, we're doing well and we're moving kids. Not all the kids.
Right.
I for every kid you move to get him a college scholarship, you probably have 5 who came there who don't go anywhere. And that's just the numbers, right? I mean, the numbers, what's it like? Only 10% of high school athletes go on to play college sports.
Yes.
But you have kids who go there who could have played with their friends, who went to another school, couldn't get on the field, and their home school now is be able to field one team while you have another school that's able to field that. So anyway, you've got to do something, and sometimes it's got to be pretty rough. It's got to be pretty rough, and and I don't know. Like I said earlier, I don't want to see these kids who didn't have anything to do with it and all this stuff. And if the coaches are gone, the kids are gone. There's got to be a different way.
Right.
There's got to be a different way. Unfortunately, it's a free flowing situation, and they're trying to get a hold of it. And like you said, FCPS can't win for losing.
No.
If they go lenient, you're just letting the inmates run the asylum. If you go too harsh, you're being unfair. So
right.
What are they supposed to do?
No, you're 100% right, Mason. I mean, you preach, man, preach.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it, and that brings us to now we can get into the show, right?
Yeah, finally.
A little bit, right? So before we do that, let me a couple of things I want to kind of read off, right? Always our intros and our ads and all that good stuff. So as always, this show is brought to you by Fairfax Football Academy, the best QB training and development in Northern Virginia. So follow on Instagram at Fairfax Football Academy. Tell them Dash and Dan sent you. All right, buddy. Well, hey, Mason, we got some good matchups this week.
We have some great matchups this week.
Yes,
really interesting matchups too.
Yes, we do. And lots to break down, lots to talk about. And looking at it, you and I we're debating between top 5 and top 10 matchups.
Yeah. No, we got a lot of really good games going on, and
we can.
I mean. Again, I think all very interesting, right? In their own different way, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe we can meet in the middle, right, at 7 or 8 games.
Okay.
Because there's so many.
Yeah.
So here we go, and so we're gonna get right into our games of the week. All right, and as always, games of the week brought to you by Team DDA. They've led the Northern Virginia real estate market for over 36 years. They build relationships, they deliver results, and they create great experiences. Contact them today at teamdda.com. Tell them Dash and Dan sent you. All right, buddy. Well, let's get into it. And you and I have been talking about this, for a couple of days now. Actually, you cut me off on our last show because I was ready to dive into it then.
Yeah, we have to say something.
You son of a gun. All right, well, here we go, buddy. Let's lead it off with the best of the best. What you and I both think is the game of the week. Heavyweights collide, rival nations. Westfield, Lake Braddock, talk about it.
Yeah, so a big time cross-district matchup between Westfield and Lake Braddock. Westfield had to lick their wounds a little bit, right? After a loss to WNL, coming off there, Lake Braddock on the other side, kind of rolling, right? They're rolling through with a really explosive offense. They had to play last week. Had a big win last week. I really want to see that matchup of Peyton Holmes, not Ty Jackson, because WNL was able to run the ball really effectively against a really stout WNL defense. But Peyton Holmes, I think both you and I agree, might be one of the best backs in the area. Oh yeah, you and I said. I mean, probably an all-region back, right? Yeah, 100%. He's going to be an all-region back. I'm calling it right now. It's not paying off very well at the good old MGM, but I'm really interested in seeing how they do that, especially with the fact that Lake Braddock has a really effective pass game, right? Right. So you got to take one away. Which one are you going to take away? And if you're Braddock, you're thinking of something. WNL is able to run on them pretty well. We've got one of the best backs in the area. So I think that should be really interesting. On the flip side, watching Malachi Lee against a really stingy Lake Braddock defense with a really stout front. It's which one of these X factors on offense is going to be able to get going. So I think that might be the key of the game. You have the Commander Carlson and Ty Jackson, two of the top quarterbacks in the area. I mean, there's stars all over the place on this thing. Yeah, there really is. I mean, I'm trying to look at past matchups this season as kind of like comps and how it'll play out. The one I can think of is the obvious one. Probably maybe some people might say the game of the year so far in Nova was the Madison Lake Braddock game. Oh yeah. Right. So a little bit of a comp to this game, sort of.
and look how that played out. Madison, Braddock came out and started airing it out in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Right? And that was the recipe in the Madison game. Now, I think on paper, is that going to be something they could do in this game? Maybe, maybe not. But you look at the W&L game against Westfield and how that played out. Westfield, W&L, won that on the ground.
Right.
So at some point, Braddock, they're going to have to make a decision. Maybe they come out running it early, kind of feeling them out.
Yeah.
And they say, you know what, these guys are tough to run against. They come out airing it out. I don't think they're going to be 50-50. I think they're going to find one thing that works, and they're going to skew heavy on that. Now, is it Ty Jackson in the pass game, or is it going to be running behind Peyton Holmes in that line? So that they got to spar in the early rounds, right, and kind of figure that out.
Yeah.
And I'll be curious what, like third and fourth, how this game kind of closes out.
Now, the W&L loss kind of clouds the muddies the waters a little bit. But if Braddock comes out with the win on this, I think you have to think of them as being the top team, at least in the region CD.
I think you're right.
Region, right? Because at that point they will beat the two heavy hitters in Madison and Westfield.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right.
Yeah.
So, great matchup, and that one could come down to fourth quarter again. Who knows?
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
I think if you're Braddock, do you want to score? Do you want to get a slugfest? I'll say that's the last thing I'll say on this is does Braddock want to try and score points early and force Westfield out of their game?
All right. No, that 100%.
All right, buddy. Well, let's jump to it. Next game up, because like we said, there's so many good ones. And again, you and I talked about this. Huge matchup. No one's talked. If it was 2 weeks ago, people would have been talking more about it. But it's going to be a good one too. Langley and Oakton.
Yeah, I mean, this a few weeks ago, if you would have said, might have been the game of the week between these two teams.
Yes.
But Oakton kind of stumbled against a really good Colonial Forge team. No shame in that. And then Langley with their two stumbles against Westfield and Yorktown. Yeah, I mean, but I still think it's going to be a really good game. Another Region D matchup between those two. And they've had some pretty interesting games in the last few years between those two teams as well. Also, very contrasting styles, right? You have the kind of ground and pound physicality of Langley, where with Oakton you have kind of the air it out.
Right.
And I feel like we've had a lot of these kind of matchups, very similar to the Forest Park Centerville.
Yes.
Right? Right. I think you have something similar. I think Oakton's looking to make a statement. They saw what Westfield did to Langley, and I think we talked about apples to apples comparisons. They want to see how they stack up against that Langley team as well.
Yes, you're 100% right. I want to see. Here's one thing I want to see. I know that Oakton could be the greatest show on turf when things are clicking.
Yeah.
Okay. We love Jack Martin. We love Enriquez, and we love
Dalen Jones,
and who am I missing? I mean, they got a plethora of receivers. It really is like Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce. Those the old Rams.
Azakim.
Right.
Yeah.
So we know what they could do.
Yeah.
Want to see it, and I know Coach Slay. If he was here, he'd be like, "That's 100% correct. That's what I want to see. I want to see if they can get a running game going."
Yeah, I'd like to see
get Marshall Falk going, right? Can they get Marshall Falk going with that greatest show on turf?
Right. That's a big question. But I don't know. I think in a matchup like this, you got to play to your strengths, right? I mean, do you want to run at Langley? I don't know if you do. I don't know if you want to run right at Langley.
No, you're right. I guess I've just been keeping them honest a little bit.
Yeah. I think they definitely moving forward. Looking to be a playoff team, and both of you, I think that they have a really good shot of being a playoff team. They can't be. And I'm not saying they're one dimensional, but I think they have to kind of expand their playbook a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. No, you're right. And but I get what you're saying. I mean, a team like Langley, they are more kind of a ground and pound team, even with a great quarterback, because they like running him too. And so I think you're right. Oakton probably does play to its strengths. I think you're right. And you throw the ball out. The question becomes though, as far as on the Langley side now, you know, I don't think it's a question. I think Langley, you stick to your guns, you ground and pound. Oakton can play the pass probably really well defensively. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Right? So you want to tell, okay, play the pass all day long. We're going to ground and pound it. And then when you start creeping up, that's when Sandberg's going to hit you deep.
Yeah, or run by you, right?
Or run
by that's the other factor with Sandberg is that you don't have to deal with his arm, and he can sling it, but he can run it too.
He can sling it, buddy. He can definitely sling it. All right, but so another good one there, man. It's just we are loaded with good matchups. All right, we are going to jump to we're going to go out west a little bit, buddy. We're going to go out west, and I know you love this matchup. You've been talking about these two teams forever. Colgan, Garfield, buddy.
Yeah, so Colgan, who is still undefeated, and Garfield again, another team that kind of came out hot and stumbled a little bit, definitely needs to get back on track.
Yeah.
Region B being what it is, Colgan's looking for a big win though, right here, right?
Yeah.
Colgan's trying to make the playoffs for the first time, and they have a ton of momentum, led by George Hill.
Yep.
I think the quarter matchup is fantastic. Troy Hamlin. I've been a big Troy Hamlin guy for the last 2 years.
You're a huge Hamlin guy.
Huge Hamlin guy. I think he's a fantastic quarterback. And you have George Hill on the other side. Here's the other.
And you're a George Hill guy. You're a PW guy. With Carl not here, you're the resident PW guy.
But here goes the interesting thing: is who's playing running back for Garfield this year? Not playing running back for Colgan this year.
Oh yeah, a little reunion of sorts.
Yeah.
L.J. Richards.
Oh,
by the way, either he committed, and someone could correct me on this, or he just got another great offer somewhere. I forgot where it was. Either one, congrats to him. Either way, congrats to him.
Yeah. So a little underlying thing, right? Now he's kind of flipped sides on this. But I think Garfield needs this win. I think Garfield needs this win a little more than Colgan does.
Colgan's undefeated right now, aren't they?
Yeah, Colgan is undefeated right now. I think Garfield needs to get a win against a quality opponent, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a fun matchup, kind of and if you're Colgan, it's like, okay, where do we stand? Right?
Right.
First tough matchup. First, let's see where we stand with one of the kind of powerhouses out west.
Yes. Yeah. Right. I think this is just a big. A lot. Both these teams kind of need. Colgan needs to prove that they are for real and a threat to win the Cardinal.
Right.
And Garfield needs to get the win to try, and they're all trying to keep pace with Woodbridge.
Yep. That's true. By the way, please do. I'm looking at our numbers on the show. Over 200 viewers on a Tuesday night at almost 10 o'clock, buddy.
Yeah.
The fervor for football around here is fantastic.
It's palpable.
Yeah. Should we just do Tuesday night live shows every week? Who knows?
Yeah. If you guys like, and we won't have to go this late. Maybe next time.
No. There was actually freshman and JV games tonight, which is why we're going this late.
Yes, there were.
And a media day for these.
There was a media day. There was.
I
should post some of the pictures I have.
You should post some of the pictures. Put them on social media.
We had, we'll keep going. I can start talking about the media day.
Well, we'll close it with some of that. Because we know people stick around to the end and they love the closing. All right. Next matchup, buddy. Next matchup. Again, we looked at it. We see some good ones. This one's a great one, and maybe we should have led off with this or started off with the Fairfax talk anyways. But a huge Patriot matchup, especially for South County now. SoCo versus Fairfax.
Yeah, this has been a pretty big rivalry for the last couple of years. And we talked
Prodigal
about
son returns.
We talked about that, right? Are they at Fairfax or are they at SoCo?
We've been wrong before. Preface by saying that, but we have it listed as SoCo at Fairfax. If that's incorrect,
because I would have thought interesting if Coach Pannoni would have gone to Coach Pannoni Stadium.
Oh, you're right. Maybe I hope it is at South County. I hope we're wrong.
Yeah. But you're right. SoCo after the overtime loss to West Springfield, and with this punishment being handed down, is Fairfax then gonna be like, well, let's ruin everybody's season?
Yeah.
Right. That if this thing stands, and the playoff ban stands, every week it's okay. Can we make someone's season worse?
I'm in. I mean, I'm a Fairfax guy. I'm rooting for Fairfax. And if all this stands and they aren't allowed to appeal or any of that stuff, then I say the Fairfax kids go out there and make everyone's season miserable and try and dominate every game.
Yeah.
Right? It's fun. And it'd be some redemption for them at least.
Yeah. I expect some fireworks in this game. I think we're going to see some big plays on both sides of the ball. Fairfax being ultra. That Fairfax defense is that South County offense. I think is a huge matchup. It's a huge matchup.
Yeah. Oh man.
Big and
explosive as all get out.
Yeah.
You can make an argument. You can make an argument. And then West Springfield wouldn't want to hear it, obviously, and they'd say, "Screw your argument," right? But you can make an argument. I'm saying that they could have won, should have won last week. I know. What's the old saying? Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah.
I get it. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. But I'm just saying they were that talented where they could have won the game.
Well, I mean, they went for 2, right? They went for the win. They went for the win.
Before that, there was some errors and mistakes that opened the door up for West Springfield to pull away in that.
Right. I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup between those two. Remember the old Pat Riley, beware of wounded animals?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Fairfax come out with their hair on fire.
Yes, yeah. I agree. Nothing to lose, which is nice, right? If you're them.
Right. And if it does go to court, right, there's litigation. They got to keep on winning.
Yes.
They got to keep on winning to get in. So
right.
We'll see, but it should be. I expect. I do expect to see a lot of fakes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a special teams off.
It's gonna be a special. Yeah.
I say they just run special teams for a whole quarter to start it off. Let Coach Panoni run his special teams.
They come out
South County kind of run the swinging gate.
They come out the swinging gate the whole time.
Hey, I invented the swinging gate at South County, and they can kind of do all that and have fun with it, man.
Yeah.
and if someone knows if we were wrong, please put that in the chat. I like to it'd be cool if it was in South County. You're right.
No, sponsor of the show, Brian Walrath says at Fairfax.
It is at Fairfax. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Walrath. We appreciate it, buddy. Which, by the way, little plug there because I don't care. I mean, when you make delicious food, you get the shout out. And, his catering company is Natural Red Catering, and it's the best in the business. It is. I want to smoke turkey like right now. Just bite it right off the freaking bone.
We're October, November, right? It's time for that kind of stuff, right?
It is. It's smoke season, baby.
Yeah. You're
a smoke kind of guy. You like smoked turkey, smoked brisket. You love smoked brisket.
I mean, it's all right.
What do you mean? You don't like brisket?
I do like brisket, but I mean, it's not like I'm a brisket guy.
Well, you should be. I'm a brisket guy. You should be. I'm a prime rib guy too. Love prime rib.
I do smoke my prime rib.
Smoked prime rib is legit, huh?
Yeah, I do.
I had it once. I've had it once. It was fantastic.
It takes a long time. Takes a long time.
Takes time. It's a nice big hunk of meat,
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, getting a little sidetracked there on that one, but good stuff. Good game. But we're not done. We are not done. Probably the another good one. A little Battle of Liberty here, buddy. Yorktown is hot. They are hot. And they're going against only a one-loss Marshall team. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, it should be good. They're hot like Buster Poindexter.
I'm a Buster Poindexter guy. I do like. He was great in Scrooged.
It's big for a few reasons. One, right now Yorktown's in the driver's seat, right? They've beaten Langley. They're in the driver's seat. Looking to that matchup to eventually against W&L. Marshall on the other hand, suffered a pretty big loss to. I mean, no shame in this, but they a big loss to Madison. But it is a district game. Yeah. The top 4 go. And how about this? If Marshall beats Yorktown, now W&L's in the driver's seat because they have I don't believe they have a loss yet in district play.
Right.
But could you have a 4-way tie for first place?
Which, let me tell you something here, buddy. We're talking Liberty, right? We're talking, give us your tired, your huddled masses. That's you and I right now. We're tired, we're poor, huddled masses.
Yeah, a little bit.
But if we're talking Liberty, we're talking top 4. Yeah. And let's go right now in no order. No order. W&L, Langley, Yorktown, Marshall, I guess?
Yeah, Marshall.
Okay. So, big game. I just said Marshall, Yorktown. Okay? Every game from here on out, if it's a Liberty versus Liberty matchup, is a playoff game.
Yeah.
So, word to the wise, any Liberty teams out there, you're playing in a playoff game in any conference game the rest of the way.
Not just that, though, but like, could you see a team trying to score more points towards the end of the game when they already have the game won? Because
that's the next tie. You're right, because the
point,
is that the tiebreaker?
I think point differential is the next tiebreaker for them.
I thought they got away from that. If you're in the chat and because then you're kind of promoting
running up the score
on teams.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of DSAs don't like running it up on people. I mean, I know people that don't like it. So, so I don't know if that's the it might be, if someone knows if that's the point differential. Where's Van Acker at? He usually knows this stuff.
Yeah.
But if someone knows that's the next point, that can't be. That's got to be something else.
I mean, what else could it be?
I don't know. I have no idea. But strength of schedule.
But then you're taking into account the non-district schedules. I thought that was whatever.
I don't know. You're right. You're right. Then you're thinking. You're right. But
it's 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What do you know? What do I know? We don't know anything. All right. But yeah, heck of a match. Winner eats Lebanese Taverna, and because there's a Lebanese Taverna not too far from Vienna too. So I mean, the winner's going to want to eat that chicken shawarma. Yorktown's playing really good football. I had them ranked in my top 10. They made the big board.
Yeah.
I had some people question me on that. I told them, create your own big board, and you can do whatever you want. All right, buddy. Well, those are kind of our five. But we got a little sidebar. The almost, right? What the almost ready for prime time?
The not ready for prime time.
Not quite ready for prime time, but almost there.
Yeah.
These are the kind of outside looking in, if you will, something along those lines. Weird game on a Saturday, and that's kind of a tradition over there. The Battle of Reston, buddy. It's got a nickname and everything. The Battle of Reston, South Lakes versus Herndon.
Yeah, Herndon just trying to find a way, right? Trying to find a way, and South Lakes, who I think was very underrated coming to the season. We see now they were extremely underrated coming to the season, but there's a rivalry game, right? It's a rivalry game, and if I'm not mistaken, and maybe I'm wrong, I probably should have done a bit of research on this before we start talking about this. I believe that game was close, and South Lakes did not have a good season last year. I believe that game was close for a little while.
I think it was.
And special the Battle of Reston, right? I don't know what's in Reston. So
I think it's got a fun name. Maybe the Battle of Reston Town Center. We're going to call it, buddy. Who's going to go to Jackson's? Jackson's Pub. Who's going to winner walks into Jackson's Pub, and everyone's going to say, "Come on over, let me get you a root beer," And the loser has to wait outside of Jackson's Pub, and they can't.
Yeah. So yeah, I know that Josh Richards over at Herndon, is just trying to get them right, and this could be the game that kind of turns around their season, right? If they're able to knock them off, perhaps they can kind of build some momentum going into some their last few games in the Liberty District.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's going to be a big one, and this goes back to Liberty, and it's a playoff game.
Well, no, South Lake's a Concord team.
No, for the Liberty team. You don't want to lose another game,
right?
Because it's going to hurt. It's the other things. I know it's not a district game, but it's the other things that it hurts. It hurts morale. It hurts so much to have to lose another one and then get your. I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah.
And it'd be so much better before you get into district play to have that win.
Right, especially against a rival, right?
Right. And having fired up and all that stuff. So that's the issue. No, not that it's but every game now at this point almost for these Liberty teams is a dogfight, and you got to find a way to pull it out.
No, 100%.
And I know they're itching for it over at Herndon. And South Lake, like you and I said, they're the comeback story right now of the year.
Right.
All right, buddy. Next one up, we've got another good one, and this is actually another one of these playoff games in Liberty. One loss Wakefield versus one loss W&L.
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point before we got on. You said it's very, very similar Now it's a little bigger, higher stakes game because the Liberty game it is Marshall versus Madison.
Yeah.
Right. I think they have the exact same record. No, Marshall's undefeated coming in with Madison with 2 losses.
Right.
But this is a rivalry game between those two, right? To battle Arlington teams.
Yeah, battle of Arlington.
And I feel like Wakefield has gotten better every week after that really disappointing loss to Falls Church.
Right.
Not that Falls Church is not good. I just mean disappointing for them where they expected I think coming out the gates to do pretty well and then to fall to Falls Church. And again, because of the format, if you can knock off a district opponent, especially someone like WNL, who's probably going to win the majority of their games, you got a shot to get in there, right? So now you have to go circle those tiebreakers.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of these games where, like, if you're Wakefield, let's just say what it is. You're trying to prove, hey, I belong.
Right.
I belong in that conversation.
Yes.
I know you guys want to talk about WNL, you want to talk about Langley, you want to talk about Yorktown. Don't forget about us. We're not your little kid brother.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fact, right? And they should have a chip on their shoulder about that, because when people talk about the playoff teams in Liberty, we've heard people talk, and they're overlooking that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got, and now meanwhile WNL is going to view it as, hey, well, we got to go take care of business.
Yes.
Don't let it be a trap game. Don't let it be. We got our eye on the prize. We're looking at number 1 in the region, and we can't fall for the trap.
Well, let me give you another comp, somewhat. Everybody wrote off. I think a lot of people wrote off Yorktown playing Langley 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody wrote off. I mean, everyone's like, Langley's rolling. Langley looks so good. Yorktown looks down, right? I mean, they kind of got thumped by Centerville, and they kind of wrote them off. And they're able to find a way. And any given Friday, I guess, not any given Sunday, but any given Friday, right? I mean, kids get up for a game and get some momentum on your side. It would shake everybody up, right, to see Wakefield knock off WNL.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good comp for it.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. And they're both in Arlington. When I talk Arlington, I talk chicken shawarma. So
yeah,
the winner gets Lebanese Taverna, and the loser, loser can go to Mario's. Mario's is not bad. You get a little slice of pizza late night over at Mario's. If you know, right?
Yeah.
All right. We move on, buddy. We move on. We are going to head to kind of a fun one. Hayfield versus Westpo. He's gonna laugh at me for saying this, but whatever. I don't care. It's kind of the in some ways like the old Henderson Bowl. Westpo versus Hayfield. Right? It is. He did great things at both schools.
He did.
They should name that game after him. But anyways, Westpo Hayfield, kind of a key little sleeper matchup, actually.
Yeah. Westpo was able to beat up on Mount Vernon pretty well. So I think Hayfield has an uphill battle playing Westpo, and depending on whether or not that suspension stands for them, it could really shake up playoff standings.
Yeah,
if it doesn't. But although Westpo is licking its wound a little bit after that loss to Fairfax last week, right?
Yeah, you're right. It'll be interesting to see. You saw the Edison matchup versus Hayfield. They didn't look as explosive in that one. Now it's a rivalry game with the Bird Bowl, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to throw out, like you say, records out the window and all that stuff. Bounce back game for Hayfield. They need to play their A game though. That's a good Westpo.
Oh, 100%. That Westpo team's pretty good.
But Hayfield could be explosive.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, they got some athletes over there. They can play.
Right. So it'll be a fun one. Keep an eye on that one.
Yeah.
We'll be watching that all night on Friday Night Spotlight. All right, moving on. We go to another. I've been calling. To me, these two teams are kind of their own versions of themselves in two different conferences, 2 different regions. And actually, we can call this the Coach Blair Bowl. Robinson, McLean.
Robinson's been in every game.
They have.
So
is
McLean. Every game to about the third quarter.
McLean has 2, Mesa.
McLean has 2. So someone, someone's got to break on one of those teams, right?
Right.
I think Robinson's ready to make that jump. I think they're ready to take it on. But McLean's got something to say about that. I mean, they're talented as well. I think I think, like you said, this could be very much a sleeper game of the week, much like AC and Woodson was last week.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, two tough teams. They played everyone tough in all their games.
Yeah.
Right? They played some really tough opponents, too.
Yeah.
So it should be a fun one to watch. And it is a couple of these, huh? A couple of these weird, like, reunion games this week.
Yeah.
Right? All right, buddy. And the last of our terrific 10. And we're going to have to go for a curveball here because no one would have seen it coming. But we like this matchup. I don't care what anyone says. And like I said, they can make their own list if they don't like it. TJ Lewis. Talk about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, Lewis, TJ's having a sneaky good year. Also, this is their one. I think this is their only national matchup that they're playing. I don't believe they're playing anybody else this year.
I think so, too.
I like their quarterback a lot. I like TJ's quarterback a lot. But this has been a rivalry game, I feel like.
It is. Kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
And Choates, he's got them playing hard over there at Lewis. He always does.
Yeah.
And these teams, well, TJ's not, eligible for playoff, right?
No.
But we saw the max preps listed. Lewis is still in there, buddy.
Yeah. No, Lewis has still got a fighting chance, especially if those two.
That's where those two teams being pushed out comes into play.
Yeah.
Teams like Robinson, teams like Lewis that don't have that play a tough schedule early, don't have a lot of wins. They can win a couple games and they're right back in it.
Yes.
So should be a fun one. No one saw that game coming as one of our games of the week, buddy. No one blindsided everyone on that one. That was like a Jimmy the Heart with a megaphone.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, we move on. We move on to what some call the best of the rest, buddy. Best of the rest. And we are going to go to, and we did so many games, there's not even that many bests of the rests available. But how about this one? This is kind of a fun one. Patriot battle. West Springfield versus the kind of surprising Woodson team from last week.
Yeah, so Woodson has, they were fighting hard against a pretty good Oakton team a few weeks ago, and then last week we're on the verge of getting their second victory of the year. Taking on a pretty hot West Springfield team, but that Woodson run game has been pretty effective, and
looks good, right?
Yeah, they look really good. I think it's going to come down to can the Woodson defense, take on our guy Booby and our guy our Lewis, right? Austin at receiver,
loaded. The triplets.
Yeah. They've got a lot of talent over there at West Springfield. But I think their defense is up to the task, and that run game can really slow go on some long drives. I think Woodson's got a chance this week.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, talking to Coach McBride and Coach Holtzapple and those guys, they really they were impressed by their kids last week. The grit their kids showed last week and almost pulling out the upset. And they feel the kids kind of. It wasn't, obviously you get down about those games, but it wasn't a throw in the towel type mentality afterward.
Yeah.
It was, let's go out there and let's keep fighting.
Yeah.
And so you got to love that. And then on the flip side, like you said, Scott Lewis, Booby from Texas, Wickham, and then like you said, wide receiver Austin, and don't you forgot the big tight end?
Oh, I forgot Bello.
They have everything. Check. And a big line.
Yeah. A
big old line. And then talking to the Parkers, I saw the Parkers tonight. We're just talking about, freshman, football and stuff, but good guys and they're going to be ready. So both good staffs, and it's going to be a fun game. Kind of again, could be another sleeper game.
And also you got to see the future of West Springfield football. It looks like it's pretty bright.
Yeah, we said we would talk occasionally about freshman teams after a freshman game. This so happens we actually played on Tuesday night. I told them afterwards I really liked the freshman team over at West Springfield. I thought they looked really good. They coming off the heels of them beating South County's freshman team and then beating Madison's freshman narrowly losing to Madison's freshman team.
Yeah.
Madison always packs a punch at freshmen.
Yeah.
Very impressive group at West Springfield. But Spartans, man, this is Sparta, right? I mean they always bring it.
Yeah.
Orange Crush has one of our T-shirts we sell in the store.
Oh, yeah.
There's an Orange Crush with a Spartan thing on it. You can't beat that. And the other one says this is Sparta.
Yeah.
Got some good gear there, buddy. Check it out. It's on the website. All right, buddy. So that's gonna be a fun game. We'll see what happens. Don't forget Emmett Murphy over at Woodson too, man.
Oh yeah. Emmett. I mean, he's a talented kid.
Yeah, he is. He really is. All right, we move on. We're gonna keep on going, and we got Annandale Justice. Kind of a fun little national matchup there.
Not just that though, but because of with what may become playoff implications, you never know.
Yeah, you're right.
Stack up a couple wins, and now all of a sudden you're in, right?
Yeah, 100%. Annandale's playing tough football, and narrow loss to Parkview, right, last week?
Right.
I think so. Was it Parkview?
Yes.
I believe it was. Close loss, and then Justice, playing tough behind their coach. So that should be a fun one to keep an eye on. All right, buddy, we go west. Because you love going west. Osborne Park at Patriot. Patriot looks like they're back.
Yeah, Patriots back, and one of those Region B matchups where you got to stack wins. You got to stack wins, and Patriot looks like they've kind of figured things out. Osborne Park still trying to work their way through it, but should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, Osborne Park. I mean, they're no pushovers, so that should be a good game for Patriot. And Patriot with the freshman quarterback's playing well over there.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. We move on, and we stay out west. We go to Osborne. Independence goes to Osborne.
Independence coming off that pretty brutal loss to a pretty talented Battlefield team.
Pretty talented.
But they've got to find a way to get themselves back in order, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think right place, right time, right? And Osborne's not going to lay over for them. That's a tough team.
No, for sure.
They won't lay over. But Independence, they're looking to get off the schneid. All right, Gainesville, Travels Unity. Reed, Gainesville, who got off the schneid last week. Congratulations. First victory as a head coach for Coach Cage.
Uni Reed's kind of struggling this year. Looks like Gainesville might, they're pretty heavy favorites coming into this. And I'm sure if they're able to pull this off and get 2 in a row, it's going to start building some confidence back in. But, if Uni Reed's able to hang around for a little bit, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Forest Park in that running game behind Kellen Lewis. Kellen Lewis can't lose. Forget about Parker Lewis. We got Kellen Lewis. Forest Park at Freedom, Coach Rondo's bunch.
Yeah, so Freedom, having a rough go of it. But I mean, they're going to have a long night trying to contain that run game.
Yeah, I mean, is there a better run game in Nova right now? Pure run game?
Probably not. I wouldn't imagine so. Yeah.
Kellen Lewis. I mean, we were talking about him breaking the all. We were. Now, he's not breaking the record. The record was like you looked it up, 2,000 yards. Yeah. But a running back's having a great season when you have to look up the all-time records.
Yeah.
Right? When you're like, hey, is that guy, how close is that guy to that all-time record? That means that guy's having a freaking phenomenal season.
Yeah, 100%.
So kudos to him and that O-line. Give love to the O-line over at Forest Park.
Yeah.
Again, year after year.
Oh, 100%.
Right? And then finally, we got Potomac traveling to Hilton. Hilton got off the schneid last week, too.
Yeah, actually, this is a pretty good matchup, I think, between those two schools.
I think so, too. Potomac's senior.
Yeah. I think it should be a pretty good matchup between those two. And we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. All right, buddy. Well, that kind of wraps it up, man.
Actually, there is one more matchup.
Hey, you son of a gun. You were hiding one from me. What do you got?
We have a really big matchup between St. James and the Hun Academy.
How did I forget? Thank you for bringing that up. But you are the most favorite guy.
Oh, yeah. They love me over there. Let me tell you.
You were just maybe they didn't at first, but after this past week's episode, they loved you because you said you gave credit to the defense. You gave credit to Coach Overton's defense. You said they shut out a regional power in good counsel.
I will say this: I did get a rather nasty message from somebody saying how I don't talk about their scholarship offers. I go off of Rivals to look for scholarship offers because I have a full time job. I'm coaching 2 other teams and a wife who every now and then likes to talk to me. And when I go to the St. James, they only have Teasley listed. That's the only one they ever have listed on there. Where these other schools have, so I'm looking at Hun's roster right now on Rivals.
So you're saying that the St. James is not listed on Rivals?
They're listed, but they only have one of their scholarship guys on there.
Oh, I see.
And yeah, I don't have time to try to search the Twitter and the internet. I just don't.
No. It makes sense.
But they're playing another school that is loaded full of multiple stars. They have a edge rusher who's committed to USC.
Wow, really?
They have.
This is the Hun school?
Yes.
How do you spell Hun? Like Attila the Hun?
Yes, like Attila the Hun. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. It's in Jersey.
Jeez,
I don't know. School of Tony Soprano.
You name a school after Attila the Hun?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess it's a prep.
Maybe naming a football team.
Kind of private school. They have a running back who's committed to Buffalo. They have what's this kid play?
Attila Hun would have been a good guard.
Interior O lineman going to UVA. They have an edge guy going to Rice. They have another guy who has a quarterback who has an offer to Ohio State and BC right now. They have two other guys going to Buffalo. One linebacker and one looks like interior O-line. So I guess is guard or center. They have another guy who looks like he has offers from Rutgers and Nebraska.
All right. He's had enough. Tell me about the what St. James player is listed on that list, buddy. That's what I want to know.
Teasley, the only one on right.
Love Teasley. He's got a bunch of offers. Reach on his offers.
It just says he's committed to UVA, but he's got a bunch. Like
he's got off from Penn State.
He got one from Penn State. Again, I mean, it was on his Twitter. It was on. The only reason I know that is because I looked at Twitter the other day. That's the only reason. I don't even remember that.
So we'll say this part out loud because you made a reference to Coach Overton likes to kind of banter with you about
banter.
Okay, maybe not. He likes to be upset at you about some of the things, even when you're saying niceties sometimes about this team. And I made the proposition, right, that we have a kind of a Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, Mesa, Jeffrey Overton kind of debate. Embrace debate. I'm going to work on it. It'll be a sideshow. It'll be like all Hitches plus.
Sideshow. Yeah, it will be a sideshow.
But it's fun stuff. It's all in good fun. Take none of it serious, right? It's all fun. It's all good times.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Hilarious.
Hey! I people were pelting me with tomatoes a while back about some of my picks, So I've been I got office linebackers taking my heads off. I got the Beetlejuice guy spraying and making my head this big. I remember that one. All in good fun.
I will take that any day of the week.
Oh, good stuff. It's a good matchup, and I'll say this now that they're hosting this one.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of not going to Jersey, it'll be interesting to see now in front of the home crowd, and I want to see that crowd pop a little bit. Now I can't go. We can't go because it's a Friday night. We'll be doing our show. I wish they would do Saturday night games. I like the Saturday night game better than that Friday night game. But yeah, it'll be fun to see, kind of how they and maybe we can get it on. We'll see if we can get it as one of the games on. I don't know if it'll be streamed or whatever. Maybe we'll talk to them and see if we can get it streamed. But should be some fireworks.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there's gonna be stars all over the field, man. I mean,
yeah,
it's a big matchup.
Yeah, it's game 2 of their Rose Gallery that they're going through right now.
Yeah, they got. I mean, we talked about before. They got some
right.
heavy hitters. They got some heavy hitters. Hitters coming up, and so far, test number 1, they passed with flying colors.
They did. Good for them. Do you have, by chance, if you don't have it, did you have Meridian's game? Who was Meridian playing? We know there's some fans of the show over at Meridian High School in Falls Church City, and we like giving them a little love. It's a local high school, and I know that's 3A, 4A,
3A. Yeah,
3A. I think
they're playing James Wood.
James Woods, the actor.
James Woods, singular. I think Woods the actor.
I hope they beat the crap out of James Woods. Although I did like James Woods in Digtown. And Casino. He was good in Casino, too.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, fun stuff, man. But we're not done. Don't hit that dial. Actually, hit the dial and subscribe like a million times. It says it on the bottom of the screen on both sides. It says subscribe. So follow the prompts and follow directions and subscribe. We have one more thing, and you better get ready, buddy. You better start looking right now because you have no more time to freaking procrastinate.
Oh, it's not like when we record the show. I'm like, wait.
Yes, no. We are live, baby. And I want to know, it's upset special time. It is upset special time. Karnak is coming over. Karnak, get over here, buddy. It is that time.
I already have it in my head, though. As you're talking, I'm like, this is my upset special week. I already have it in my head.
Oh, well, what do you got for us?
I got Wakefield over WNL.
Wow. Talk about it. Tell us why.
I like the interstitial rivalry. You know, I'm a fan of Coach Henderson. I think Coach Henderson's going to have something cooked up for him. Also because I got tired of taking a lot of heat this week for all the stuff I was doing, and I know no one in Arlington listens to the show, so I won't get any heat from anybody all this week.
That is not. You said no one in Arlington. They're huge fans of us. You know that. The Yorktown community loves us.
Yeah, maybe.
They love us. WNL loves us. I can't believe you would say such a thing.
We'll see. When I don't get any hate mail, which I got tons of this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here, you want hate mail, buddy? You're about to get hate mail. Sit back, watch, and learn, buddy. Okay. Here comes a little hate mail. Because we love a little hate mail around here. All right, here we go. Greetings. Karnak, looking at this list, studying it. And I really feel like what put me on the map recently was that Yorktown win from a couple weeks ago when Karnak nailed it. So now, I got it right here. Gonna hold it to the head, kind of let it process. You know, I got a monkey hitting a tambourine inside this brain. So as I kind of think about it, here we go. All right. I am thinking Falls Church City, shawarma, and your favorite offense. Marshall with the upset over Yorktown.
Oh, look at that. Are we going to Liberty District?
I'm telling you right now, they're going to run the option. Yorktown's going to go, we didn't see this coming. They're going to run that halfback pass. Yorktown's not going to be ready for the halfback pass. They're going to hit it over the top for a touchdown. Marshall with the upset win over Yorktown. I called Yorktown upsets win 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately now I'm going to get booed by everybody at Yorktown. I love you guys at Yorktown. I love you. I just had to pick a matchup, so I went with a Liberty matchup. Take no offense to these picks.
One Coach Holmes says Mason's having a hard day. You have no idea. You have no clue. You have no clue.
He's got to sit across from me for an hour on a Tuesday night. So that's bad enough.
If our upset picks hit, the Liberty District will be in a full chaos, right?
Complete chaotic mess.
It'll be madness.
Now I hope this is not me. I'm cut off from delicious chicken shawarmas for the rest of the season because I love the people at Yorktown. I just felt like, I had a surprise. It's the matchup that I kind of, can Yorktown stop that tough run, the tough run offensive of Marshall? We're gonna find out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Well, there it is. There, what a night, buddy. We got a lot done tonight. We did. You could talk about it a little bit. You had media day.
I think we're gonna do this more often. We did a lot better. We don't go nearly as slow on the live.
Media day for Girls Flag, fun time.
Yeah, it was awesome. The girls were really excited to go there. I'll probably post some pictures. They had like all kinds of photography events for them. It was awesome. I'm enjoying myself coaching these young ladies in football. It's definitely an experience. But it's exciting. It's exciting to see what they're going to do. And our first game is in 2 weeks. Our first game is in 2 weeks on the 14th. And I'm interested how this is all going to play out.
It's in 2 weeks. It happens that fast, huh?
Yeah. It's in 2 weeks. I believe we play Braddock. I think we play Braddock in 2 weeks.
Remember what I said, and maybe I'll come out and help you a little bit. I'll be like the wise man. I'll be like Charles S. Dutton in Rudy. Make a good play. I'm going to go. Make that. I'll do that clap thing.
Yeah.
Or if you do really poorly, I'm going to say, he's just a showboat, man. He's just a showboat. I love Vince Vaughn and Rudy.
But it was awesome. It was awesome having all of them there. We had Brian Mitchell.
Brian Mitchell, B. Mitch.
Brian Mitchell was there.
Don't say his name like that. I know you're not from around here, buddy. His name holds some weight around these parts, pal.
I mean, I guess.
Man, he was a great borderline Hall of Fame return man.
Yes, I'm not saying that. I'm saying he was there. He was there and talked to the girls and
Sorry, he's not John Taylor. He's not Dexter Carter. Sorry. I couldn't think of a return man.
Don't you badmouth John Taylor.
John Taylor was great. Dexter Carter was kind of a bust.
I mean, don't you badmouth John Taylor.
It's good stuff.
But yeah, no, I'm having a great time and teach these trying to teach these young ladies football and yeah, no, they're fan. Different coach of girls. The funny thing was today, so they're all sitting there as we're getting ready to do the jersey reveal, what they did. And so I said, hey, I need to take all of you guys' pictures. All instantly start fixing their hair. Like on cue, like 25 girls immediately went and started moving their hair. And oddly enough, I told my wife that story when I got home. And she did the exact move that they all did.
It's the patented, like, girl, do your hair move.
yeah. It was pretty interesting. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool to watch people who really want to learn the game and we're receptive to coaching and you know, when guys get to be in high school, sometimes they can give you attitude. Right now, not a lot of attitude. So,
well, good stuff, man. Don't let them off easy, girls. If they're listening, which I doubt the girls are listening to the show.
I could get 25 right there, right? I should be like, hey,
you should. Mandatory assignment.
Mandatory. You want to play?
Mandatory playbook assignment. You study the playbook for half an hour and then log on and subscribe. But if they are listening, I'm going to say, give them hell. Don't make it easy for them. Make it hell. Complain. Be jerks. Mason needs a bigger headache than he already has. Yeah. All right, good stuff, buddy. That was fun tonight, man. And fun having almost 300 people between this and YouTube total at its peak. So that's a lot, actually. That's pretty good.
No, it was pretty cool.
And a lot of people were in bed because a lot of people are civilized human beings and they go to bed early.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm not civilized. I don't get to bed till like midnight, dude. Is that late?
Yes, it's late.
That's my average. I have more energy. You can probably tell I have more energy at freaking night than I do in the day.
Yeah, my wife was like, "You're gonna do a live right now," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do a live right now."
You're like, "That's the vampire. I have no choice."
Although we'd be up this late anyway.
We would, and remember, I'm alone too. I'm Mr. Mom.
Michael Keaton right now. Yeah, you are Mr. Mom.
No one even knows what that means anymore.
No,
they don't know Michael. They say Michael Keaton. They're like, "Oh, he plays Batman. What is he doing?"
Yeah, they don't know anyone else.
Gung ho.
At the media event though, my daughter was like, "Is Debo coming?" And I was like, "No, Debo's not coming."
Why not? Debo. They said Redskin great.
Redskin great.
Debo's had 4 games as a skin.
Yeah.
Or Commander great, and he had 4 games as a Commander. Yeah. So, we'll see. He's got to last the whole season, right? Which is not very Debo-like. No. Not to poop on any Commander's dreams or anything, but yeah. All right, buddy. Well, fun stuff, and we got the Friday show, Friday Night Spotlight. And how about this? How about it'd be interesting to see how many teams are not playing on Halloween. We found out that there are some teams. Woodson and Robinson are not playing on Friday, Halloween, 31st. They're playing on the Thursday varsity.
On All Hallows Eve.
And there could be some other teams playing on the 30th.
Oh yeah,
as well. We were told. I don't know who. I looked at Max Preps and most that I saw still at 31st. Now that could be not accurately marked.
They could have not switched it, right? Maybe the county switched that later on. They just never switched.
But a lot of
we've learned that Virginia in general do not keep a very up to date Max Preps.
Well, here's what we'll say to any people listening, any coaches, any DSAs, since we're going to do the Friday show. Because I'm assuming most teams are going to play on Friday. They're going to keep it. I think we'll see. If there's only a few teams playing on Thursday, Mason and I will make our grand return to the sidelines. We will go to some games on Thursday.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly. That's a weasel's way out. I've said possibly like that many times in my life, and usually I didn't do the thing that I said possibly about.
Oh no, man, it's late. I'm super tired.
All right. We're gonna go. Hit the subscribe button. It's been great tonight. We'll see you guys on Friday on Friday Night Spotlight. See you then.